Hello again, this is Dr. Lindsay. And in this video, we're going to go over the business cycle. So unlike a regular cycle, which we can think of as like a sine wave going up and down with predictable amounts, the business cycle, it's called a cycle, but it's not really a cycle. So it'll go up and then fall, and then go up again and fall, and then go up again. We hope that over time it keeps going higher and higher, but it doesn't go just straight up. So if we look at how the output in the economy is doing over time, this is also referred to as GDP, gross domestic product, but it's how much it's produced in the economy. And over time it goes up and down, but we expect that more is produced over time and we're wealthier and the standard of living increases for everybody over time. Now, these upturns in the economy are known as expansions. Expansion or a boom. And these downturns are known as a contraction or a recession. And these peaks at the very top here have a special name. They're called peaks. And these bottoms or troughs are known as troughs. And the interesting thing about the business cycle, as I said, it's not a standard cycle. The distance between the peaks is not standard. The amount of time between the troughs is not standard. So we don't know how long that's going to take. We don't know how long the expansion is going to last. They're all different. We don't know how long the trough is going to last. They're all different. We don't know how steep the economy is going to go up and how much output is going to increase with the expansion. And when a downturn comes, we don't know how long it's going to last, but we don't even know how far it's going to go on the downside. We just know that it's eventually going to end. The downturn is eventually going to end, and the expansion is definitely going to end at some point in time. However, what we do know, there's some stylized facts that we can put together here of things we do know about the business cycle. The first is that the expansions last longer than contractions. So expansions last longer than contractions. And the expansions are lasting longer and longer. So the expansions are becoming longer. Give you an idea that like how long these things last. On the average, over the last 50, 70 years, the expansions have lasted about 5 years. If we go back further than that, the expansions probably only last an average of 3 years. Lately, the last two expansions have lasted just about 10 years, slightly over 10 years for each of them. We also know that the contractions are becoming shorter. Not only do they last less in time, not last as long as the expansions, but they're becoming shorter. So the contractions are becoming shorter. The average in the last 50 or 60 years is about a contraction on the average only lasts about 1 year. So not too long. And the contraction or recession in 2020 from the pandemic really only lasted a few months. until things started to turn around. The other thing we know is that whenever there is a downturn, the unemployment rate goes up. So output falls, or this GDP falls, puts people out of work, and the unemployment rate goes up. So unemployment increases during contractions. Now let me show you a graph of the unemployment rate over the last 70 years or so. Okay, so this is the graph, the unemployment rate, percentage of people that are unemployed of the labor force from the current population survey. And this goes back to 1945. And you can see the gray bars there are the downturns in the economy. So every time there's this downturn in the economy, you can see the unemployment rate go way up. Let's see if I can narrow this down a little bit here. And then after that downturn's over, we're in the expansion phase. More is being produced, and people are hired, and the unemployment rate drops. So whenever we've got this downturn, we're inside the PPF. And it means that we're not producing as much as we could because there's idle resources. Idle people that are unemployed, or machines that aren't working. And so we're not producing what we can. And you can see this unemployment rate jumps around, and it tends to go up much faster than it comes down. So we're in a recession. It starts to go up very quickly, and then it make years for it to come back down to what it was beforehand. Oops. Never mind that one. Okay, here we are.